I'm so excited to see both of you now, but I must say I really hated both of you when I was watching this series.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
We appreciate your hatred.
But she died a hero to the silo. They're lying!
天哪！我竟然在超级传奇大偶像演员 Tim Robbins 面前说我讨厌他，到底哪来的狗胆啊？一定是因为 Apple TV Plus 的影集《末日地堡》太好看，太让人入戏啦。
What was the best Shiloh fan encounter for you after the show premiere last year?
My girlfriend. She's a big Silo fan. And I have to keep secrets from her, but she keeps asking me, what's gonna happen? I'm like, nope, can't tell you.
I mean, I would say my team collectively, a lot of my team that I work with, so many of them had questions. So many of them were watching and calling me saying, I can't believe this happened. Why did he do this and that? So it was like, it felt good because I do a lot of different things and I can tell when my team is energized about something and when they don't care, it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But this, they really love. Like I can feel the sincerity, so that feels great.
There are those times when people find out what I do, and if they've seen the show and they go, oh man, I love that show. That's happened a bunch of times, that's great. But it's also just seeing things from the show entering the pop culture. That someone had a cartoon about people stuck in a house because it was raining outside. Someone says, when can we go outside? And the dad says, someday, but today is not that day. And that's a line from the show. And so we're like, cool. We entered the pop culture.
改编自畅销小说《羊毛记》3部曲的《末日地堡》，描述一群人生活在地堡中被高压统治，而且绝不能说出想到外面看看，否则就真的让你出去看看，没几分钟就 GG。Tim Robbins 就是演影集中机车到不行的最高统领，虽然讨厌归讨厌，但能和他合作，就算演反派也甘愿啊。
Some mysteries are best left unsolved.
So, Common, what was on your mind when you first time meeting with Tim, the legendary actor?
Well, I did know Tim before. We hadn't been able to spend this much time together, but already had a certain respect and love for each other. Because Tim has done, a lot of work with people who've been imprisoned, and for me, I've known his humanity and his rebel that I always appreciated, even from a distance and getting around him at times. But to be on set with him and watching and learning and being in his scenes with him is one of those things where you never could have told the guy who was at home watching these movies, watching Shawshank and watching Mystic River and watching The Player and that I'm gonna be with Tim Robbins scenes, boom, going back and forth with Tim. It's it's amazing, man. He's one of the greatest actors of generations. And, who don't want to be around that? You know what I'm saying? And beyond that, just a good person that I could just bond with and talk real life with. So it's been a joy. Sometimes you just gotta take things and say, hey, not only am I on this great project, but I'm appreciating what I'm getting out of my life experience with this.
So, Tim, how do you feel about hearing all this?
Sorry, what is that?
Hearing comments said about you.
Mad respect back. He's living a life that is involved with the world, and he's making his art that way. And I have great respect for him, and I really, really loved the opportunity to get to know him better and to be able to work with him. And yeah, so, hey,
Thanks.
I love it.
Thanks, man.
I love it.
Yes.
Was just one big lie.
上一季的最终，女主角 蕾贝卡弗格森最后被放逐，镜头一拉开，却发现更惊人的秘密，原来还有更多地堡，也因此这一季有更多新演员加入阵容，其中就包括前几集超神秘的这位。
and I'm gonna kill you.
Solo is a very mysterious man, and so mysterious that we can only see part of you in the beginning of this season. And it's not always easy to act with only your voice and eyes. Was it kind of liberating for you?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I liked that for the first week of my job, it was really through this, and which gave me, you know, as an actor, you always have anxiety going onto a set and performing the first day. We all are insecure, you know, artists that think that we're going to be found out and fired. So that's a fact. So I loved being able to ease into it, and acting through just a slot in a door really helped me kind of develop like the voice and everything. I wanted the voice to be somewhat opposite of what his look you know, was like when you eventually see him. So I think it made it easier, to be honest with you.
And it's a very moody, emotional role as well. So what was the most challenging scene or part for you?
I think the most challenging scene is probably episode 9, where it gets pretty heavy and he reveals kind of the dark side of his life and what happened to him. And those are always hard to do.
So there's a scene you've seen 9 episodes. Have you seen all 9 episodes?
Yes.
Yeah, so, because you haven't got the finale yet. You'll see the finale, and that's pretty amazing. But there's a scene between Juliet and Solo toward the end of 9 that's maybe my favorite scene in the season. I don't know if that's true. There's so many great scenes, but it is a very emotional scene when you find out what Juliet has done for this guy who tormented her and made her do this dive, and she almost died and all this stuff. But she, that was a pretty cool scene, and great for those actors because they're so wonderful together, and to see them sort of come together at the end was really pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a tearful moment for me.
Yep.
I can say most of it was really fun. My favorite scenes are the ones where I go off talking about the circus. It was so fascinating to me, thinking that, okay, this is a person that's never experienced any of these things that he's talking about. He just reads in books or sees pictures, and so it's such an interesting thing to be like, how would you explain to, you know, whatever, like a whale to someone if you've never seen? He doesn't even know if it's real, you know.
除了剧情悬疑紧张，影集中的场景和道具也精致到让人好想去实际体验走一回啊
I'm really curious, how many levels of the spiral staircase did you actually build for the practical set?
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that.
Please.
I can tell you that the sets are probably some of, if not the biggest sets that I have been on that are in a studio. And we had enough to be able to sell to you that we have hundreds of floors.
The audience might not know that you actually build them across 9 sound stages, and there are actual sets, not completely CGI. So what was the most challenging one to get it right?
Well, the big one, we call it A stage. It was the first one that got built, which is 3 levels of the stairs. It's a big set, and it can be changed out. We can put up blue screen and make it different backgrounds, but we've still got that central staircase, and that was a big, expensive, and hard build.
Was that also the flooding one?
I believe some of that happened while I was on strike, so I couldn't come and visit. But there were two. There was a tank that was built on the stages, and then there was another tank out at Pinewood, the great, the famous old movie studio outside of London. And they did some work in Pinewood, some work on our stages, just built a tank.
I got to work in I think the coolest set in season 2. You'll see.
Yes.
It's completely doesn't look like anything else in the silo. So that was cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd want to live there.
That was that is a place to live. That's a place.
Me too.
But yeah, well, I love. First of all, I do love like the foundation of what we have in the far set. But I love going to new places, and fortunately, in this season, I got to be in the Sims apartment a few times, which I like. You know, being in that space with Camille, who plays my wife. And yeah, and you know, you always get. In Silo, you always get to venture off into a few new places, but then you go to the stairs, you know, some of the basements. Or with me, it's like going to like the sheriff's office. I'll be there at some point, you know. So I like it though. The set is beautiful. The set, like, it's amazing work. Like,
Did you bring anything home as a memorabilia?
No, but Rebecca did.
What did she have?
She took a lot of stuff. I asked. She just took them. I kind of want one of my puppets. That's what I want.
Yes, that's so cute. And I keep thinking you should have some like silo experience or something to let people visit your set.
Well, yeah, we've talked about that also. Maybe there should be a video game, you know, a computer game of life in the silo.
Yes. So I'm sure there was tons of Easter eggs for fans to discover. Any particular one you're dying for the fans to notice?
Sometimes it's an Easter egg, and sometimes it's just a little question that people will ask. Well, why are there no elevators? Well, just pay attention. You'll see going forward. There's something that happens at the very beginning of the season 2 where all these people rush out of a silo, and they don't die instantly. How come? Because in Silo 18, you go outside and you're dead within 3 minutes. What's going on there? That's a question that will be answered. It's our goal, if we get to do the whole run of the series and cover all of Hugh's books, that all the questions will be answered.
Please. Can you please finally say hi to Taiwan and tell all your fans here why they should watch this series immediately?
Yes, watch the series. Thanks.
I'm more afraid of what she saw.
And good luck on the shooting season 3.
Thank
When can
you.
we see that?
I hope we get to do that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All my fans in Taiwan.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you very much. Can't wait for the season 3.
Yeah.
Thank you.
peace.